All right. What's good? What's good? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. Buckeye Sports Talk with B Moses, collaborating with the wonderful folks over at Buckeye Scoop. Just wanted to hit y'all with a quick little video, man, because this seems to be a daily occurrence lately. With talking about Jeremiah Smith and the hand wringing and the spazzy, reactions from some of our fans and all of that. And I wanted to touch on some quick things about a few other recruits. But real quick, listen, let's just kind of go over some things with Jeremiah Smith, right? So, Jeremiah Smith, for those who don't know, who don't follow recruiting heavy like we do, he's a five-star wide receiver from Florida, around the Miami area. Number two player in the country, absolute monster. They're comparing him to, some of the best recruits that have come out in the last 10 years plus. Go look at his tape on YouTube. The dude is an absolute monster. And he runs track, so he's plenty fast, athletic, all of that. Generational talent, projected. He committed to Ohio State some months ago. And it was right around the time Dylan Raiola decommitted. I think he decommitted shortly after. So that's one little key point I want to throw out there. But so anyway, I follow recruiting heavy. So I know that the kid mentioned early on in the process that he intended on taking visits still, right? So I already knew that, expected that. Now, a little bit of a caveat. I'm well aware of the fickleness or shakiness of the South Florida commits to Ohio State or to northern schools. I'm well aware of that, okay? So I'm not oblivious to how shaky verbal commitments can be from down south in that area. I get it. However, with this particular kid, he has went on record several times, and even specifically about a week ago, to say that he chose Ohio State because they give Brian Hartline and Ohio State, Ryan Day, give him the best shot of being developed to go to the NFL and be a first round pick. Okay, this is something he's reiterated several times when talking to analysts and all of that. And he reiterated that recently with an interview with Mark Givler. And so, but yet and still, you got people spazzing out and just, I guess overreacting and just going kind of nuts low key about his visits and his activity and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of quickly address that, to hopefully ease some minds either way. You know what I mean? So anyway, so for example, you got two sides of this. You got our fan base and you got the rival fan bases. So with our fan base, you got people still tweeting at this kid, basically butthurt tweets and, whining about his activity with, other schools or visiting and stuff like that. And for example, there was a tweet, my dude, shout out to Jeff Rubel on Twitter who responded to this dude. The tweet he responded to said to Jeremiah Smith's tweet, Jeremiah Smith tweeted out, he said, I thought visiting other schools was a part of the recruiting process, right? Which he, like I said, early on said he was going to do. And somebody tweeted, I don't, maybe I'll show the tweet on the screen and put him on blast, but he said, you can leave now. We're all good in Buckeye Valley. Talking to Jeremiah Smith, right? Just a butthurt tantrum type tweet to this kid. Was he 17, 18 years old? Ain't no telling how old that dude is. Anyway, and my dude Jeff Rubel just kind of rebuked him. So, which I thought was dope. But Jeremiah Smith has also tweeted, I'm just having some fun, in response to some things. But he's been consistent throughout the process on what he's going to do and why he chose Ohio State. He said, even more recently with Mark Givler, he's repeated this, that he's not going anywhere unless Ryan Day or Brian Hartline leave, which is unlikely. Okay? So he has consistently put that out there. It's one thing you visiting and going to other schools and flirting or whatever, but you not consistently reaffirming why you chose the school you committed to. And he's coming on a visit. He's visiting twice, I believe, in June to Ohio State. Hartline is visiting him soon. There's still that's a little different than what we typically see from some kids that were worried about and concerned about flipping. Now on the flip side, no pun intended, Georgia fans are just, oh my God, we're gonna flip them. And listen, Jeremiah Smith, he's playing the recruiting game. He's enjoying himself. Yes, he said he would love to play with Dylan Raiola, and that's what the plan was before Raiola flipped at Ohio State. But he's the number one quarterback in the country, so of course he's going to say that. Of course he's going to try on the Georgia Bulldog uniform when he's on the visit. You know what I mean? And get all, and show the drip and all the other stuff. That's what you do on visits. So people were spazzing out about that. Like, oh, well, he got the Georgia uniform on. He's on a visit. Like, I expect him to do that. So I'm really not tripping over it. Because at the end of the day, even if he does flip, like our track record, we show that we're going to be more than fine. We're good. However, I don't think he's going to flip because I don't think Hartline and Ryan Day are going anywhere. So there's that. And I think he knows his goal is most achievable coming to The Ohio State University. You can't deny the track record, period. So that gives me confidence. Not only that, but just, of course, his own words of what he's been saying. But yeah, so Georgia fans on Twitter going nuts, acting all extra, beating their chest like, oh yeah, we going to get them. You're not going to get them unless Day or Hartline leave. So, but I know the mods and the different analysts and so-called insiders for Georgia and different schools are going to play that up, and basically imply that, clickbait articles to make it seem like the flip is on the horizon because it gets clicks, but that's a smart business move, from their standpoint, to get the message boards buzzing, but it ain't nothing popping, y'all. It ain't happening unless Hartline or Day leave. I feel pretty confident about that, but have fun. It's all for clicks and activity, and I get it. So there's that. But I wanted to quickly touch on Aaron Scott Jr. as well, number one recruit in Ohio, who Scum, still believes that they're going to get. But those who follow recruiting heavy like I do, they think they're getting everybody. And especially since they got their first Ohio recruit that we actually offered. I forget what the stat is. It's something crazy in a long time, years. Now they just, we're going to get everybody in Ohio. No, you're not. Matter of fact, Bryce West is about to pop soon for Ohio State. So keep your heads on a swivel for that. EJ Holland, the Scum Insider, he just waved the white flag on that one too and crystal balled him or whatever On3 calls it. And so there's that. But Aaron Scott, I believe, will be a Buckeye. I believe he may be low-key playing the game too. Just what he's been saying, how he's talking. I don't believe he's going to Scum at all. I understand he didn't grow up a Buckeye fan. He grew up an Oregon Duck fan. But he's went on record saying that, the staying close to home is probably a thing, especially with his family. His family are Buckeyes. None of the crystal balls have been moved. None of the Buckeye insiders are moved by the so-called buzz around the Scum camp about him going there. I'm not buying it either. So anyway, I just wanted to address the Jeremiah Smith stuff and to kind of wrap this up and put a pretty scarlet and gray bow on it is that Jeremiah Smith ain't going nowhere, Buckeye Nation, unless Hartline and Ryan Day bang out. And I don't foresee that happening. So let Georgia fans have fun, clap back at them on Twitter, and whatever, troll, whatever, have fun. But I'm not wringing my hands and I'm not concerned. I've had people hit me up and concerned. Some, was cool, but some, spazzing and overreacting. And stop tweeting at these kids, man. Stop tweeting at these 17-year-old kids. You know what I mean? Like with your butthurt tantrums. Now, this ain't just Buckeye fans. I see this all across the fan bases in college football. So I'm not just picking on Buckeye fans, but specifically with Jeremiah Smith, please stop. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. So anyway, I'm out. Quick update. Holla at y'all soon. I got a series coming up, off-season series, talking about all the different projections for the positions and the quarterbacks and receive all my thoughts on that coming up soon. All right? Peace.